Guys, I am making up some more packs this morning and I thought I'd show you where I'm up to and what else I need to do. But this morning I have to make up some bluish sort of packs, and I'm so thrilled because overnight a lovely person bought 2 packs, so a random and a bluebird. So what I'm thinking is one of these packs might go to them as their random one, because I don't want them to be too similar. She's bought them from the first lot. So what I'm doing at the moment is putting together, I really wish I could do this better, like this, 1, 2, 3, these packs. We'll focus back in here. I have my phone on a tripod, leaning over a chair, trying to do everything to kind of go over and above this way. And I've got a cup of tea here, which is right in the way. Let's put that over here. So let's see where we're up to. So blue, green. So someone said they just wanted blue, but it's so hard to just do blue because you usually have green tones as well. So the pack I'm putting together at the moment, the blues, I say blues, and they've got a bit of green. This is a bit that I made. This is a bit of scrappy quilt where you just keep using offcuts. And I thought, I'm going to give this person, this pack, a bit of mine. These are the beautiful yo-yos donated. So I thought with the buttons, that'd be really cute. And this is a bit of my tiger fabric in greens. A bit of the map of Mount Victoria. I'm sorry, my phone keeps adjusting. It's a bit there. Lots of lace, vintage trims. What else we got here? That's to close, if you'd like to close around your pouch pack. And start you off. Bits and pieces. This amazing ribbon. I thought I'd put in some of this. This was a pair of vintage flares, so it had really gone, but I just love the fabric. So you might decide you don't want that or the red. You could cut that out and just use this section, or, use it for another project. I don't know why I throw that in, but I throw that in. And bits of linen tea towel. This lovely remnant. It's upholstery with some details on there. Got lots of this vintage linen, which I absolutely love, and I embroidered the flowers. If you didn't want the pink, you could cut these bits out. Oh, this is gorgeous. This is from a pillowcase. So, and I've kept the back there too. You could cut that off and use that as a pocket or something. Some denim. So what I thought with the denim, if I've got a piece of mine somewhere, since it's in the right colourways, I practice all my stitching on that. And if you wanted to use it but it was too dark, you could actually flip it and use the back as well. So I try to put a little piece of fabric like that too you can play with. These flowers are great to then embroider all the detail on there. Such blues. Oh, so I've got lots of these. Now, I don't know if you think that's a fly or a bee or a wasp, but I think they're just gorgeous. You could cut in really close around it if you wanted to, or you could stitch all around it, or you could add lace, or you could change the wings. So this is where I'm at for this first one. So blues and greens. Put a little bit of check, which I thought was nice. It's a nice sort of heavy drill cotton. This is this vintage. I made part of my dress that you saw with this. It's lovely linen. And then what I've got here is some vintage tea towel. And I've cut up sections of it to use. You could use this as a pocket or the interior. And the base for this, because the other base, let's see if I've got a bit of the other base. The first packs was this colourway. So if this was blues and greens, I'm thinking, look at this. So it's got some beautiful detail on it. And I've left the edging for now. You could use that or you can cut that off if you don't like that. So this piece here, and an extra piece there of that one. So you could fold that and have the lovely ruffle as the top or bottom, like that. Or if you like the pattern, like that. Have it outside. You could wrap a ribbon around it to close. So that's one of the packs I've just put together there. I think that's pretty good. I do have this. Look at this. This one's incredible. Massive print. I'm debating whether to keep that and do a dress or something with that, or give out a bit of that one, but it's very, very pretty. But that one's really nice too. That is a sort of a teal blue green, a nice big flower. I could cut up a bit of that. I don't know who's made that one. It's an old one, an older one. That's really lovely. So these are the 3 packs. They're all slightly different. This one's got a bit more of that with a little bit of red. Giving you a bit of my quilting there. And another little bee. I think this has got, slightly different colourways, but still a blue base. Very hard to do solid blue bases and solid colours. I think that one's slightly different again. Look at that. And I've thrown in even these little pieces. They're kind of good to wrap things, or if you want an edge, you could use that with a blanket stitch. So that's where I'm at with that. And then I've been pulling apart different pieces, thinking, what if I did a warm tone one? So you could do, like, look at this one. Lace-wise, what will we do for lace? But, you know, I've got things. Oh, I wanted to show you this. Where is that? I've got, someone's going to want this as soon as I show it. Look at this. Isn't that amazing? So you could do a warm tone one with pinks and reds and things like that. And I found the cutest one with a kitten on it. Where is that? I don't know. This one says, a good start. How cute is that? Feel that? So I'm just adding now to create more packs for people. Thank you so much to those who've bought them. I am gobsmacked. So that's sort of warm tones. This is some of my fabric, linen. So I can build warmer tones. I think this is silk. I don't know how you tell. You better burn it, don't you? So anyway, putting those together, but you can see you can build tones and things like that just with bits and pieces. Don't throw anything out, and slowly you'll have a really cute look. Not sure about this one, but I love this colorway. And this is another one I made that big kimono with. So I've got lots of things here, lots of different things. So that's, you know, in this sort of tone. So that's another idea. I can put together more of those packs today because it is stinking hot and I don't do heat very well. Oh, those. So we'll put one of these each. We've got these two. So I reckon, what about the dark blue with that one? That's navy too, if you can't see. And that one there. So I'll build those today. And I might even give them a bit of razzle dazzle. Yeah. And some of this ribbon. I don't know if I showed you that. Yeah, so these, and my sister just got me a whole heap more of doilies and things, so I'm really excited to see, but really I should add a bit more of this stuff in too. I've got lots of really fun stuff that's been donated. Oh, I'm going to put some of that in. Look at that. I think that can go into these guys. So what we'll do is we'll give everyone a piece. So that one. So if you'd like any of these blues or greens, so if I've only built 3, let me know and I can put one aside for you or build you one. So I think that looks really nice. And then I'm not sure if that's too warm, but we can give everyone a piece of different things like that too, or maybe a bit plainer. What else have we got here? Sorry, I'm just rustling to the side. But I've even got really cute bits of ribbon, and that's not quite the right tone, but that is. Look at that. Look at that doily. It's incredible. So that's where we're at there. And then things like when you're finding your vintage fabrics or remnant fabrics or salvaging. I'm going to sit down here. I hope everyone can see me. This is, you know those, I don't know why they've started doing this because it just creates more waste. I'm just going to have a sip of my tea. Sorry if you hear me slurping. All right. So these bags that quilts and things come in. Now they've got the 2 buttons there. Where are my scissors? And really good size flowers in there. I don't know if you can see it all. So that's another thing I thought for a warm tone one. Make sure you can see this. I'm just going to snip this. It's good cotton. But you can either go in really close, or you can get rid of all this. Or you can go really, you can leave that lovely mustard colour. My scissors aren't the best. I've got these big chunky ones. I've got little sweet ones somewhere. You can either, I might leave the leaf for someone. And so even though this was warm tone, you could then embroider some cooler tones over it if you didn't want it to be so mustardy and pink. You could add more blues and greens on top, and suddenly the colourways change up a bit. That's a really nice panel. And then don't chuck all these things. We use these as little bits and pieces. I mean, look at that. Suddenly it's quite sweet. And these you can roll and do things with too if you're really worried about salvaging every step of it. You could leave the buttonhole. So when you're closing your quilt, like the pouch, imagine this is really big, and you're folding it, and somehow if you had that button stitched and lined up on the underside of it, like that, let's see what we do. Roll it, and then you'd put your button there, so it would undo. If that makes sense. I hope that does make sense. So that's another thing you can do. Find these panels, find these bits of fabric in second-hand shops or in the dump, in the recycling centres. People don't want these. They're kind of, I don't know if these are waste material anyway when they make the sheets and quilts, but people just chuck this stuff. Some would probably fold and put these back into their cupboards, and if they were really organised. I'm not. This wasn't my quilt. This is something I found. Look at the size of that flower if you're doing a big piece. So let's have a look at what I'm up to. I'm going to reach around here and show you what I'm doing at the moment. So this is the big panel I'm doing. And I'm thinking still that this would be, what's going on here? Oh, I've started stitching down here, if you can see. And then I've decided that I've had enough. And the needle's stuck in there. Look how organised I am. So this piece, I'm thinking it will go in half. And I can then store, like if you got this set and you thought, oh, it's going to go everywhere. If you're really adventurous, you could store things away. If you'd kept that fabric pouch that we just tore up, just thinking, that's a perfect little pouch to then you could upcycle this pouch without destroying it like I have. You could just build on the pouch, keep all the seams and everything, and then store your projects in that. What a dummy, Kari. Could have done that. So anyway, let's get rid of this because I'm going to keep looking at that now. I'm feeling bad about it. So that's what I'm working on at the moment for me. Could be a gift still. It could be for someone else. Where's my little piece I've been working on with you guys? Let's look for that. Oh, here it is. So this is where we are. So this is to show you guys, if you're new to my Kara's World of Crazy crafting that doesn't kind of look professional, this is where we are. So this is an example of the pack that you get. Much smaller, of course. It's a much smaller piece. For size and scale, the panel I've given in this one I'm just making up is much bigger than this one. But it gives you an idea of how to use some of the elements that you receive. So if you get this and you think, oh, I don't know what to do, then we can, start to build and layer things, and then you go back and you work on it, and et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, I'll put all that back because then I'll start losing each pouch pack. So that's where we're at. So what I thought is maybe I'll start to embroider this guy here to show you. This flower was with the cross stitch here. I hope I can show you. Some of them weren't filled. So on the dress I made myself, some of the cross stitches hadn't been filled, and I purposely left it that way. I really like that story to say in life things, I see here, I don't know if you can see the unfinished stitches. So what I did was, rather than doing cross stitch, I just did my own kind of thing to make it dramatic, and it feels really good having the different heights and things too. This is the bird I did with you guys. I'm actually really pleased with him. You can see him. So I've got him sitting on this doily, and he's textural. I'll put a little bit of purple into the wing. Now, because this is, it'll be flipped on yours, but I should be going that way, shouldn't I? That's the front if I was to make it a little book, which I think we'll start to think about that. And so that is the back where my bird is. So damn. I think maybe I'll add another bird here. I can sort of see a bird sweeping up with his beak this way, maybe on top. And I think we could stitch this flower. And for the interior, what I do, I've got a bit of fabric handy to show you. And we can start to build this later if you want me to show you step by step. When you do multiple pages, you've got to make them slightly shorter than this length, because when you start folding everything here, they'll start to jut out. So what I would like to do is have one panel attached to the back, because just to hide all the stitching. Let's see if we've got a bit here. I've got so much fabric. So this is some of the flowers I pick out for everyone. Oh, where's the end? I like to find the bits of remnant. So see here, this is all the scrappy bit. So I cut it out. Doesn't have to be perfect. So this panel is going to be the back of this one. This is going to be exactly the same size. And then the pages go shorter. Doesn't have to be perfect. All I'll do here is blanket stitch. So we can do a blanket stitch together in another tutorial if you want. Or you can YouTube if you don't know how to do certain things. Always, YouTube is so good. In the old days, you'd have to buy books to learn how to do things. And now you can just go, hey, I don't know how to do that. And somewhere you'll find it. So this is very rough. I'll clean this up. I'm just trying to cut you a bit to show you what I would do for the next stage. So if you don't have any of this in your pouch pack, this is where I'm going to start asking you to go and look for linen. So maybe you've got dirty old tea towels that are really vintage and kind of finished, or holes. You can use those. They're so beautiful to use. Even the cotton ones from, the 90s onwards are good. Oh, sorry. I'm making a mess of this. Anyway, that's what we would do. I'd stitch that to the inside to hide all this muck. Blanket stitch. Let's see, got some pins. I'd only do this bit once I finish this bit, but I'm just going to show you. Don't stitch. You can still, you can attach it and then still stitch above, but occasional stitches might go through. You could also then run a little, like a cantha stitch right across to kind of quilt this. And then what I would do is you do another page or two and you start to build what you'd like to do with this. So you might, where's my little pieces just to show you? You could do, so this closes like this. You could do a pocket, cut it to size. So cut at either end and blanket stitch it, but so, you open it and you have a little pocket in there. You could run another panel across the bottom here and put all your makeup brushes or your pencils and things like that in that way. And you could also roll this to close it and just wrap a bit of ribbon or something around it like that. It's all in the fun rather than the finish line, it's just about building it. So let's put all that back. I'm thinking about doing some bowls and other things too. What I prefer to do is kind of finish some of these first, because I'm a great one for doing 4,000 things and never finishing. let's have a look here. What I was thinking is just doing a stitch or two with you to show you the next stage. I'm sorry I've got this kind of swiveled the wrong way. I'm on my side. I should really be going that way for you, shouldn't I? So let's open up. This is my one. What I did here is I ended up blanket stitching the edges just to stop all of it falling apart. Oh. I was told, someone yelled out, I think on TikTok, to use chenille needles. Sorry, my fingers are a bit grotty too because I've been gardening and I don't always put my gloves on. That is not like grot, as in, you know, being grotty just from gardening. Been weeding yesterday and then I need to have a good scrub up. I've just had my shower, but I'm not just walking myself into this, aren't I? So these ones here, you can see all the different sizes. So let's try one of these bigger ones to hold the fabric, to hold the thread. And we've got this little guy here. Well, we could do the rose here. Let's start doing that. So I'll just pick some pink, like that. And you'd think I would have threaded that ahead of time. No. Let's just start. Horrible sound of the licking of the thread. And this is where I can't see because my eyesight's getting worse and worse. Did I get it all? No, I didn't. And then usually I've mashed it up so much it will never stick together again anyway. Sorry if I'm boring you. This bit's boring. Get a cup of tea or something. It is getting hot. Like today it's about, you won't find it hot. It's 24 here in the mountains. I can feel it's really starting to warm up. I've got that. And I've got to stay home today because the washing machine died yesterday and I tried everything and it's because they're all got stupid computer stuff in them that it's not worth fixing. I googled everything, it's just died. So I have to wait today for a new washing machine. Our house is so small that there's not a space to put laundry baskets of dirty clothes, so we wash as we go all the time. And then, of course, I've got all this stuff for the shop that I wash. So, yeah, it never stops. So let's see here. We've got the rose, and then this little guy hasn't come out yet, this bud. Let's see if I can... What will I do? I might do a darker piece there and then a lighter piece there. So this is the lighter colour. Let's see if this will go through. I saw too some leather thimbles. So my fingers always... rock hard there now. It's getting like calloused. And I think, which way am I going? This way. I might try that. And also I saw the sashiko, it's like a pad you put here. Or you attach it here and then you have a pad and you can push the needle against it. So I might try that too, build those. I hope you can see me. I'm not checking all your comments. I'm sitting lower today. I thought just some slow stitching this morning before I do much else. And no, I don't know what I'm doing. No, I'm not an embroiderer. This is just about the pleasure of having fun. And I'm sure there's a better way of doing it. And I could use some thinner embroidery thread too, but I don't care. It's just fun. I hope this isn't too dark too. I might just give me a second. I'm going to open up my blinds and see if I can make this brighter. I may not be able to. So in the mountains, it's either dark or really light. Right, let's try again. I don't think that made any difference, did it? And what it wants to do is kind of pull in when you start stitching. So I guess that's why people use hoops and things. But I'm just gonna, it doesn't matter. None of this matters. It's just about getting going. We can do process, we can learn as we go, we can get better at things. just about building that. And, you know, if I was clever, I could do a little rosebud on the end there, but I'm not going to. So then we'll build a bit of red there. I'm just going to push that back in and hide it at the back. And I should cut and go across, but I'm just going to bring it over here now and not worry about that because it doesn't matter. Let's get to the end though. That would be good. There we go. So all I've done here is just gone across. Oh, look at that. I've connected that too. But as you saw, we've got a piece of fabric going on the back there, so I'm not going to worry about that. I might go this way. So I would go with the flower. So see here, I've made a bit of a mistake going this way. Not a mistake, but I like to go with the way the petals would naturally go. So this rose is coming this way, and I reckon that's a good way to go. Might go, I've left that darker. Oh, yeah, I got to add a colour there. It's up to you too if you just want blocks of colour or if you want to do light and dark. Like here I've done the kind of yellow and then this kind of creamy green sort of colour. Are you someone that never puts your gardening gloves on like me and has rough old hands? I don't wear sunglasses either. I feel like I can't see and feel and touch and all that stuff if I'm not kind of, you know, if I've got all that on, I feel blinkered. Is that a thing? Is that I don't know. It's like a textural thing. So it wants to pull in a bit, but you get the drift. And you could change direction a bit here too if you want to. I could, you know, create the separation of some of the leaves if I was so inclined. Kara's crappy craft, eh? Anyway, I was thrilled to wake up and see someone bought 2 packs. So I think one of these other packs will go to her, as well as the Bluebird pack, which has got the Bluebird. It's got creams. It's got some red gingham. It's got like a kind of a classic design, like classic colours and stuff. You can see that. Do I need to come up closer to you? I know. It's always harder to just have it sitting up higher. Maybe we'll start to change the way this goes. What if we go, when it's kind of getting caught under there, I go slightly out a bit and change direction a bit. Our new chooks are settling in beautifully. And I've been out in the garden weeding. We have creeping buttercup that has taken over, as well as other constant weeds with all this rain. And I want to pave and fix some areas. And then we have to start painting eaves and things because it's, I noticed we've got very short eaves, so things get damaged quickly, and I've got to fix all that. So I don't know if you can see that. So the flower's sort of taking shape. Maybe, and I mean, you could go this way. You could do that so from a distance it looks sort of more textural. Do you want to do that? There's no rules, so if it's not great, you can always unpick it. You can always say, hey, I didn't do a good job of that. See what I mean? Like it just, actually I could go down, I'll show you, we'll do halfway, and then this is what you could do if you hadn't done this other half. If you wanted to go follow the shape of the flower. This might look terrible with the 2, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So see here? So this is more like what I did here. You could then fill with a different colour, like a paler colour or something, or a electric red, or, you know, whatever you wanted to do. It doesn't matter. Have you had enough? I don't know how long I've been doing this. Can you hear my birds outside? Currawongs, the magpies sit around our deck talking to us. I do not feed birds. I don't agree with feeding birds. But they hang around and talk to us anyway. And it's great because we don't get attacked by magpies. They just want to hang out and chat. I don't know if you can see that. So see, they're quite different. So that, you know, ideally you wouldn't do those two together. But I'm just giving an idea of what you can do. The other thing is, if you really hate... I'll pull this apart. If you really hated that you did this on this side, you could always go over it a bit. It doesn't matter. So let's go, hey, I hated that. Oh, I've got this tail long enough. What have we got here? What am I doing? What did I say I was doing? It's getting a bit tricky because there's more there. But see, now I'm trying to kind of mess up the straight lines. It'll make it chunkier, yeah, but that doesn't matter. It just sort of changes the direction of it. Maybe I'm making bigger balls up now. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that wasn't a great idea. So I'm really looking forward to, when I get to Japan in January, trying some different needles. I've heard there's some really great needles you can buy over there. I'm going to try and bring back some fabrics and some needles and things, or if there's any great little thing I can buy, bring back and hopefully put onto my shop if I can do it. So yeah, I don't know if this was a good idea the way I did it, but you can see what I mean. You can change it up, you can rearrange. It just feels so nice. It feels really solid too, like textural, strong. It's not going anywhere. You could add little beads on top of here, like sparkling flowers. And what else we got here? I've got a bit of a gap there. Which way do I need to go now? And yes, I watch all these YouTubers and TikTok people with the most incredible embroidery skills. Everyone's got beautiful fake nails. They've got all this stuff, beautiful hands. Mine's a bit more, what do you call it? I don't know. I just think I've got like little bear paws as hands. They're not very pretty. But they work. They're doing hands. Anyway, that I don't know what's going on there. So that's done now, and there's no real thread left, so we'll chuck it in the back and finish it up. I guess for me, I'm trying to encourage you to just play. There's a lot of perfection out there. There's a lot of things people are always going to do better. I'm always overwhelmed. I think, why am I showing people this stuff? Why am I making fabric packs? I don't know what I'm doing. Imposter syndrome, etc. But thank you for enjoying what I do and kind of believing in what I do. That I'm thrilled. And see, what it is just building colour and fun. So let's see if I've got a little bit of red handy. Do I have any colour handy to go a bit darker? See, there's a paler bit. I don't know if you can see the difference. Which I could have used that as the inside of that. I think that's too dark. I've got some lavender here. That's not quite right either. Oh, maybe that. No, that's not right. So I'm looking at the two colours here and here next to mine. I don't think that is the darker. Let's just do it for fun, hey? Just to show you. Because this is all about just playing and having fun. I'm going to show you too what I do with all these. Don't throw these out. Create a new bundle for them. I'm trying to make a strand of them as a Christmas ornament. They actually turned out really nice, so I'll show you that later. Another day, hey? Let's see if I can get all of this in one go. Nope. Sorry, guys. Yep, got it. And then I knot the end, and I don't do some do the 3 twist thing at the bottom. I'm just old-fashioned. I just do it like that. Always knot your ends. So what I'm thinking, this may not be dark enough, but continue this darker. Or let's do it along here. So we'll go along here. So come out from underneath. I've always got extra cottons and threads everywhere. Which way am I going? This way? Get them all sitting the right way. I hope you find this relaxing too. I've got to learn to slow down, stop talking and talking fast, because I go into my trance too. But I rabbit on because I worry that you'll be bored. Social media is terrible, isn't it? Because there's an expectation we have to entertain you. If you don't publish something every day, you lose followers or they don't see you. If you don't engage and get response, they disappear. This is all the stuff we're taught. And is it right? No, I don't think it is right. It's terrible. And some days, like yesterday, I woke up thinking, I have nothing to show. And this is the panic that you get, which is silly. You see the colours? That's actually quite nice. Good on you, Cara. I might make this little edge, see that's quite solid and thick and consistent. I might make the line a little bit thinner now, so come in a bit shorter. Going really tight there. I can always trim little things there too when they stick out like that. I've got a heap of native plants. I've got a plant too on our slope. Trees, it'll get quite big. But I worry because I put them in there and I forget to water them. Or, there's too much going on. What do we got here? Might just do a little edge on this side. I need to get one of those stands so it's directly above the table. I've got things leaning every which way to hold still, so if I move too quickly I could knock it all. I hate when this happens. There we go, done. Do you take up your hems? Do you repair your jeans? Do you do all of that? Or do you find that overwhelming? Do you know how to do it? I could show you that too. How I do it anyway. I learnt from a young age when my mother had sold second-hand clothes at the markets in Sydney, and I had to help wash and iron and repair, darn or add buttons to business shirts. It's extraordinary what people throw out or don't know how to fix things. So if you don't, there's so many good YouTube channels. Don't stick all that sticky stuff to lift your hems. Like, it's so easy just to get a needle and thread. And when you make yourself a nice little pack like this, I hope you you feel inspired to darn and fix things yourself. So I don't know if you can see that. Where am I? I'm trying to look on the camera now. It almost looks like a little gum nut now. We could change this from a rose into a gum nut with a blossom. You can do that too. I could have more little tendrils coming out with little dots on the end. That is fun. We could do all kinds of things like that. I love changing up what things are. Okay, so there we go. I might do that, little blossoms. But what I'm going to do now is, rather than cutting it and starting again, I was going to bring it over here. Gum nuts do not have They don't close like roses, that's the only thing. But it's my wild world of plants and darning and tapestry and embroidery or whatever it is. So anything can happen in my garden, in my thing here that I'm doing. Like tea's getting cold. You can leave half the print too of the piece underneath. You know, you could just have that. It's textural and then leave everything else around it. You don't have to do any more if you don't want to. You could either, or you can come back and rework on it slowly. You can build, you know, what you love. Gosh, this is annoying. Bit by bit. Have I lost you yet? Are you still there? I don't know. I can't even see. I'm just going to keep going. Oh, these knots. Oh, there goes my camera stand. Starting to shift. It's telling me it's almost over. It's a tripod leaning over the chair and then over a box. So it's pointing down because I don't have the right one. Did I tell you the chooks are settling in? They're doing well. I've got 3 new chooks. My sister-in-law up at Summer Island near Kempsey. They're settling in nicely. We won't let them out for about a week or so they don't take off and they feel comfortable. Okay, so I think I'll leave that bit there. Finish that off. Two. Oh my God, I'm just not happy. 3. And then I go through. I'm not going off camera. All right, let's have a look. Start here. So this is the back side. I'll do some stitching there. And this is what we just did today together. I'm going to show you quickly there. I don't know if you can see there's a tiny thin stitch just holding the fabric down. Oh no, I was going to do a bird there, wasn't I? And sometimes across there. So say you've got this purple we put here, and we could go again. I've got a little bit of purple here on the needle. So say you just wanted to weave in the colours a bit. So I'm not really into the matchy thing, but if you wanted to tie your colours in more, some people are very good at, you know, just having a very simple colour palette, and some like me are wild and want all the colours. I think I'll just do a quick stitch along there. Let's see here. The more stitches you do, the more it kind of holds it together physically, like it feels more solid and connected, and I can see what I'm doing there. Someone said, you know, it make every stitch count, as in colour, be seen, make them present, make them obvious. Now, if you were doing sashiko, you'd be doing this, loading it. And I'm not doing that. You try to get as many on the needle, not with this thick thread, of course, probably. And sometimes I like to go over the next piece. So say you've got this bit of cotton lace here. I like to tie things in. So you could keep going across it to create colour, like this. Kind of weaves it all together. But I'm going to go down the next row and go back. I've got the fan whirring. It's because it's getting warm today. I can hear the birds. I can hear the wind slowly out, you know, moving through outside and on the chime. And it's so relaxing. This feels like methodical. What do you call it? Like circular breathing. Not methodical. Circular breathing. So this all of a sudden feels more, oh, There we go. Sorry. That's me being professional, doing my stuff. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's telling me it's it. Oh my God. All right. I think we're almost done, hey? Just not happy. Ah, what was I saying? It already feels more solid having that kind of, rather than just this panel, having the stitching on it. I can't believe that happened. All these professional people out there, Instagrammers, YouTubers, and then me with my dodgy ways. You can also do things like this. Great little cross stitch. Oh, here, make sure I'm in camera. You can see. And that gives it a different texture again. You could also tuck that back through the other one going the other way if you really wanted to. But that looks kind of nice too. You could do like a zigzag. You could do circles. You could do all kinds of stuff. And what that does now, when you're doing your stitching, is it's now going to bring this colour in that you see over here. It starts to bring all the colours together. So let's finish this one up and then I'll let you go if you're still with me. I'm going to post this again on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok and YouTube. I'm trying to get to a point where I start to build my own proper videos on YouTube. But not with my current setup, hey? If anyone's got a good stand you recommend, I've got one of those straight ones with the ring at the top, which I don't use because I'm not into doing that with my face. Ones that attach to a desk or sit over with an arm, so you can direct it straight over whatever you're working on. Yeah, so that's that. And we're a little bit closer in our piece here. So we've got this guy here slowly going up, and then we'll roll it across to this stitching. That's the bird. And so when I close it, I think my next step is, I think, a bird coming through here. I'm putting over this greenery. Maybe not, maybe. What do you think? Or a bee? Maybe a bee. That'd be cute. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. It's been fun. And I'll chat to you soon. Thank you.